Dear ALL, have you ever gone to somebody's house and felt so uncomfortable that you act foolishly? I know you have. Before I get to my sardine story, welcome to a life nevermore, a public diary for private pain. If you are new here, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Here goes the story. I slept at an older church sister's house one night some years ago. When I arrived, she suggested I prepare a tin of sardines for myself. This lady was wealthy but always closely watched her money and possessions. She was in the kitchen while I was preparing the seasoning for the sardine, and it was almost like she was hovering over me to monitor the things I was using. I was so uncomfortable taking some of her oil to fry the seasoning that I used the liquid in the sardine tin. She was a bit surprised when I did that, and I was sure she thought that was my regular practice, because I was not wealthy like her. It's a pity she didn't know that I also shocked myself, because, up to that point, I had never used sardine oil to fry seasoning. I have always drained sardines in the sink and used cooking oil to prepare the seasoning. I was so mindful of her hovering that I wanted to use the least of her things so much that I acted like an idiot. Knowing her and how she loved to tell stories, I can imagine how she told her other rich friends and family about what this poor woman did. I never enjoyed visiting people's homes, but this situation taught me to avoid helicopter people, especially regarding food. However, if you are in a situation where you can't avoid going to someone's home who is like this host, here are 2 things you can do. Number 1, eat before you go to the person's home. You may have had a sleepover at someone's home, and you believe that stopping to get something to eat may cause you to arrive at the house later than planned. You may also think that not packing your stomach would be best not to embarrass the host when you are offered something to eat. So what do? You try to be respectful by being there on time and respecting their kindness. But what if the host was like mine and didn't prepare for you? What should you do? While trying to be respectful to the host, factor in some respect for yourself. And, in this case, your stomach. I agree that the person who invited you over should make provisions for you, or at least say beforehand that you should take your food. However, we live in a world where people do not always do what is expected of them. So the onus is on us to prepare ourselves adequately for any eventualities. Number 2, carry snacks in your overnight bag to prevent starvation. Taking snacks with me has been a go-to solution, even if I am going to visit family members or close friends. It could be a case where most of the things on the menu are things that you may want to avoid. You eat as little as possible to fit in and catch up with your stomach later. I remember going to a relative's house overseas, and whenever we went to the supermarket, he would say, "Pick up what you want." When I picked up the things I liked, he mentioned that there may be a substitute at home, or the item was too expensive. After about 3 times, I gave up picking up anything and allowed him to pick up what he intended to buy. The next day, when he went to work, I went to the mall, bought the things I needed, and kept them in my room to avert my hunger for the almost 2 weeks I spent at his house. Your stomach is your responsibility. So the next time you go to someone's house, and they are hovering over the food, you can quickly get out of an uncomfortable situation because, this time, you have options. Now it's your turn. What is the most uncomfortable thing you have ever done in someone else's home? Please share in the comments below or send me a DM on Instagram. Your identity will be kept confidential.